Jack raised a hammer and smashed the man's knees. He then suspended him with a steel cable. When the man's legs nearly brushed the floor, his agonized wails filled the entire room. Jack slowly closed the door. He sat on the sofa with a pleased expression. This was his first smile since his daughter was killed. That morning, before going to school, his daughter had given him a hug. When they met in the afternoon, she was already dead. He trembled as he straightened his daughter's clothes. DNA testing quickly identified the perpetrator. When the suspect was arrested, he showed no remorse and even wore a smug smile. Because his country has no death penalty, the sheriff warned before the trial that the maximum sentence would be 20 years imprisonment. The killer who tortured his daughter to death is still alive. Thinking of the killer looking happy, Jack came up with a way to punish the killer. Jack went out to the countryside and found an old house. The law could not deliver justice, so he decided to act. The next day, he looked at his wife with deep affection. He set out on the path of avenging his daughter. Jack drugged the transport driver first. He then followed in his own car. When the drug took effect and the vehicle was pulled over, he produced medical credentials to gain the officer's trust. They assumed he was there to help. Jack used the pretext of retrieving a first aid kit from the vehicle, then drove off in the transport van. Along the way, he rendered the suspect unconscious. He took him to a room prepared specifically for the killer. When the police came to Jack's house, his wife was stunned. On the first day after the suspect was brought in, he denied his crimes. Jack smashed his knees and listened to the suspect's wails. Jack watched all of it with grim satisfaction. The next morning, Jack woke the suspect. He still denied his crimes. Jack stepped on the suspect's swollen knees while the man screamed in pain. That night, Jack's wife urged him to go home. Jack said their daughter's birthday was 5 days away and that he would use the suspect to memorialize their child. On the third day, Jack hung the suspect from an iron chain, produced a shotgun, and pointed it at his head. He wanted to blow the killer's head apart, but thinking of his daughter's brutal death made that punishment feel too lenient. The suspect was terrified as Jack experimented with different ways to punish him. The killer attempted to confess in order to escape further punishment, but it was too late. Jack continued to torment the suspect with the iron chain. The worse Jack's memory of his daughter's condition, the harder he lashed out. He only stopped when he was exhausted. Afterward, he begrudgingly administered nutrient drips and used a stethoscope to check the suspect's vitals, only to continue the torture. A few days later, the suspect was close to going mad from Jack's relentless pressure. He cursed Jack constantly, trying to provoke him into ending his life. Remembering his daughter's birthday, Jack restrained himself from killing the man. News that Jack had intercepted the suspect quickly spread through the town. When other victims' parents were interviewed, some publicly supported him while others opposed him. Jack was furious and could not believe a particular remark had come from a mother's mouth. He found that opposing mother drugged her and brought her to his base. He handed her a hammer and told the woman to avenge her daughter with her own hands. No matter how much Jack intimidated her, she could not bring herself to strike, and she even reproached him. Jack sat with the shotgun for a long time, torn. As a doctor, saving lives was his duty. As a father, avenging his daughter felt like his responsibility. He did not know whether what he was doing was right or wrong.